Like sometimes it's not always the prison. Sometimes Johnny is like 2 streets over.
I have to go to prison.
Y'all wait at your daddy.
I'm not saying that at all. If she was white, do you think it would have been the same search? If she was white.
What's up, guys? My name is Tam, and you're tuned into Ninja Please.
Hello, this is Watch the Tam Ninja Please podcast, episode 1, season 1.
So tune in. We got a lot to talk about. All right, let's try this again. What's up, guys? My name's Tam.
And I'm Watts.
And you're tuned into a very live Ninja Please. It's been a long time.
How long has it been?
A long time.
A long time.
I still have to. Without a dope beat to step.
Step 2. Step 2. Without a dope podcast to step 2.
Yeah.
We're in there, baby.
It's
good to be back.
It's a brand new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year to you guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning in because we got a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Are you okay? You sleep?
No, I'm not. Oh.
Yeah.
I can't see me. Okay, I'm gonna lean with it, rock with the show.
Oh my
goodness.
Can I do that? You can lean with it and rock with it. So we want to get into some very serious topics that actually help our community, progress our community, but not only that, just change the mindsets. Because there's a lot of craziness out here. A lot of expectations that both men and women have that are outside of the box that are going to further perpetuate broken homes, broken families, and the blame game. So we're going to unpack that. Let's unpack it. So the first topic is, what's something that you learned late in life?
Something that I learned late in life? It's a list of things.
It's a list.
I have a whole list of things that I learned late in life.
Let me know.
First and foremost, never trust a fart. You just can't trust a fart. Never trust a fart. I don't care if you think it's dry or if you know, especially when you're sick. You never trust a fart. You know what I'm saying? I learned that a little late in life. We'll get to the backstory later.
Wait a minute. Did something?
Not lately. Not lately. It didn't happen lately, but it's happened before. Have you ever trusted a fart and it went wrong?
Yes. But we don't want to
I don't want to talk about that.
I want to talk about me. You know what brought that one up. I was going to say something a little bit more serious.
Okay, well, that is serious. Okay? You get out the car with some wet drawers on. They're not supposed to be wet on the back end side.
Oh.
If you trusted a fart. Never trust a fart, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing I've learned is late in life was how important credit is. Yeah. I learned that like literally last year. Literally last year.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
You guys aren't alone. Clearly, there's somebody else out there, maybe like you, who learned credit was important.
Credit is important. Really, I didn't know that. I didn't know how important it was. My credit is getting fixed as we speak, so I'm almost back up to the 600. But I can't. I went from 429 to 6 something. Then I think it dropped back to 4 something. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Well, but yeah, it's gonna get back up there. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all, credit is important.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of you, like all the things that I wish my parents would have taught me, right? So I wish my parents, I wish they would have taught me about credit. My dad used to tell my brothers and he used to say, "Credit is the devil. It's the devil. Like you don't want to get these credit cards. You don't want to get this stuff." So I grew up thinking like, I'm not going to use a credit card. I'm not going to get into debt. Debt was the enemy. And then my mom, though, like she built me and my brothers and she built our credit up. Like we were authorized users on her account. By the time I graduated high school, my credit was in the high 700s, but I didn't know what to do with it. right?
So your credit was already built up growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't one of them ghetto things to where your parents put your name on a light bill and stuff like that when you were 3 years old and your credit got messed up since you was a kid. It wasn't that situation. It was the opposite.
It was the opposite. It's the opposite. And the crazy part is, so all the things that I learned late in life, I now teach my kids. So the thing that perpetuated me to have wealth, and not just for myself, but like generational wealth, was this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that book was recommended to me by a millionaire. So now I'm recommending it to.
Say that book again?
Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
And it's my first solid read that I literally, it took me 24 hours to read it. This is how hungry I was after I met some millionaires. But had I been introduced to like just the concept of making money, my money making money, and not being in the rat race, like your parents will tell you to go to college, or they'll tell you to get a good job and just to work your butt off at that job. And then somebody's going to see you working really, really hard, and maybe they're going to make you the manager. And you don't want to keep job hopping. You don't want to do that. Like, you want to have good standing. Like, our parents used to brag about like being on a company for 20 years or 40 years. They used to brag about this kind of stuff. And I used to think, so I'm an 80s baby, right? So that I have some of the old school mentality, but I also have some of the new school mentality.
Right.
And I had to break free from the old school mentality.
You didn't combine the two?
Yeah, I can say I merged it. Let's just say that. Yeah. I merged the two into like what works best for me in my generation. So I was operating based on what my parents did. And that's the crazy thing about being a parent. You teach your kids to operate like they grew up in the same century or generation as you, but they're not growing up in the same generation as you. So you have to teach them. You have to continually teach your kids things that you learned late in life, because that's going to more so apply to who they are, where they are, and where they're going. So credit, to your point, credit was like a huge factor for me, but also like just making sure that I have like multiple streams of income. Like my parents, they have this mindset where you work that long on one job and then you get to retire after 100 years. And then that's just it.
That's crazy, because me and my brother always talked about that, even as teenagers and kids, how it's just not right to work until you're 65 and then try to retire. And what you got, like probably 15 years after that, tops to maybe 10, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Depending on what you've been eating.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just crazy how that's part of the system, though. You know what I'm saying? Like how that's supposed to be the norm.
Yeah.
What do you feel about, good old subject, what do you think about 5-day work days? 5 on, 2 off.
I'm not sold on 5. I mean, it's the rat race, right? So I think you want to work for a company that doesn't pay you about how much time you clock. They pay you for your efficiency in your work. So the company that I work for now, like I'm an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur and an author. But the company that I work for, I actually work for a prominent tech company. And I love this company that I work for because, when you buy into a company that's a 5-day work week and you need to be butt in the seat and you got to clock in and here's your lunch break and da-da-da-da-da. When you work for a company like that, it's really not about efficiency.
Right.
It's about like you being a robot. And at some point, like I don't see that you can be valued working in a company like that.
Right.
And you have bosses that will drive you for having your butt in the seat, but not necessarily drive you towards your professional growth, where you want to go, all those kinds of things. So, I don't really like it.
Okay, let me ask you this, college girl, because the reason why I came up with this topic, because I've talked to a lot of people who's been to college and they regret it. And they said they learned later in life that they didn't need college.
I'm not one of those people. You want to know why?
Why?
Okay, so first of all, I went to Midwestern State. That's the first school I went to, right? Mm-hmm. Where Dr. Phil went, right? And where the Cowboys used to do their training camp. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so I went to MSU, and then I dropped out of school. 1, I wasn't doing good in my grades. 2, my grandmother at the time, she was on her way out, right? So I wanted to be there. I wanted to be back in Dallas. And I was like, well, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I was like, I don't need college. I don't need that stuff to be a millionaire. Half of these millionaires, they don't even have a degree. Da 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 da. So I told my parents this, and my parents was looking at me crazy. You know how my
Look.
You know the look, like, girl, like you had a muff.
Yeah, a slap look.
Yeah,
A slap with my look.
It was like one of those. But I didn't go to college, and I just went and got a sales job, and I was making really good money in sales. And then I was like, okay, I want to get into recruiting. I want to do this, and I got into recruiting, but I plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I want to be. At the time, I was like, I want to be 30, making at least 6 figures.
Right.
But I was plateaued. I was like, okay, I'm making 80K. When am I going to get to 6 figures? Like, the time had passed me. I was like, at the company that I was with at the time, they paid for school. So I went to school completely free.
So no student loans?
No student loans.
I think that's
shout out to Spectrum. Time Warner Cable, shout out. They paid for my bachelor's degree, my associates, and my bachelor's.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
They paid for all of that. And once I got my degree, I kid you not, less than a month later, I got my 6-figure job.
Ooh.
Everybody's story is not my story, and I get that, because my brother will have a very different story than my story. But I get to your point. You don't need a degree to be successful.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to get your perspective on it.
Yeah. So that's just success at work. That's success. If you want to be successful at work, go ahead and get your degree. Mm-hmm. But if you want to be successful in life, you don't need it.
Okay.
You don't need it. I just have both, because that's who I am.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You learn anything late in life?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot of things late in life. Like, I learned to learn how to let people go. I had a really bad problem of that. Like, you teach people how to love, you know what I'm saying? You teach people how to be strong and stuff like that. But I had to learn late in life, like, how to let people go, when to let people go. And I also have to learn how to be weak, because nobody ever tells you, be weak. Nobody.
What do you mean by that?
Be weak. Like, okay, Christian, right? There's a passage that says, in our weakness, God is strong.
Right.
But we as a people, we walk around with this cape and this trope that we have to be strong all the time. We have to be strong. You better not be weak. Man up, toughen up, walk it off. Like, we've heard all of the statements about, like, being strong, but nobody ever talks about just being weak. Like, it's okay to cry. And I think to a passage in the Bible where it talks about, like, how much Jesus loved Lazarus and he died. Mm-hmm. And even though Jesus had all the power in the world to heal Lazarus, and he knew he was going to heal him anyway, but he still cried. He was still weak.
Yeah.
He had all the power in the world, our God, but he was even crying. Right. So for people to walk around thinking they have to be strong and they don't cry and, don't be weak, I feel like it's just, like, impossible to be that. And why people get depressed and why people feel down on themselves is because they don't know how to operate in their weakness. They don't know how to take those emotions and use them for better, use them for good, or to just feel. It's okay to feel what you're supposed to feel in that moment.
I just learned that today. Be weaker.
It's okay to be weak.
I'm too strong.
Yeah, because out of your weakness, it births something beautiful every single time. Have you ever had, like, something crappy happen to you, and then out of that, it births something, like, so much better?
I can dig that. That happened before.
Yeah. And in the moment, you're like, I hate this. I want to just be strong again, Right. But out of that, it births something so beautiful. And I think we just have to be able to have more of that conversation about, like, it's okay to be weak right now.
Wow.
It's okay to have that feeling.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Another thing I learned later in life, because speaking to the mic, it's never too late to stop learning.
True.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Yeah. I was like, I've always been a student, right? Experience always counts. Experience. Experience always counts.
Experience always counts.
It does. So I've always been like a student. I'll be a student until I die. There's just something about like asking questions, wanting to get an understanding, right? And then also, everybody wants to be understood.
Right.
And the only way to do that is just like having those, being inquisitive.
I love it.
Yeah.
One last thing, fellas. I learned later life is strippers are not your friends. They just want your money. Okay? They're not here. They don't like you. Okay?
What?
The strippers don't like you. They're just nice to you because they want the money. They want the ones. Okay?
Are you done? Are you done?
Just pisses me off.
I've never been to a guy's strip club.
Yeah.
When I was with my ex-husband, I did take him once.
Where y'all go?
Right off of in Dallas, right off of 35. I don't even think
Ecstasy?
I don't even know if it's there anymore. It was like a shack. It was like right around the river bend to go from 183 to keep on
going. Probably one of them cabarets.
It was like
by my apartment.
It was like the exit before Love Field.
Oh no, it might have been one of them.
It's not there anymore. But it was a shack, and he was a little bit too excited, and I was like, I'll never do this. We got into it. I was like, all right. I was like, okay.
What's a little too excited?
He was just like,
it was all in his face.
I mean, I don't mind being in your face, but he was just like, yeah.
Oh.
He was just like a little kid in a candy store.
So he didn't play it off or nothing.
No, he didn't play it off. He was just like, he was all in. Like I wasn't there.
Foolish one. You pretend. You play it off.
Just have some respect.
Yeah, that's it. Respect goes a long way.
It goes a long way. I guess not at the strip club because it was a mess. Anyways, next topic.
Next topic, please.
All right, let's get into it. So, women need to stop. Right?
Stop it.
So, I wanted to talk about like what women, when I say women, I'm talking about me too, right? Mm-hmm. What we need to stop doing. Like, I don't want to do the blame game. We do a lot of talk about what we feel like men should do, but ladies, we're not men. So, sometimes those.
Say it again. Say it one more time for the ones in the back.
Ladies, we're not men. So sometimes those conversations of what men need to do, they need to be said by a man.
Okay, let me intervene here. What if the woman was raised to think and act like a man?
Ooh, Steve
Harvey. Well, they was raised this way. They didn't have, they had the single parent, mama, of course. Daddy wasn't around, no uncles or nothing like that. She seen her mama handle business and do everything on her own. What do you say to that woman that gets a man and follows in those footsteps that where like I don't need a man and I can do this on my own. I don't need a man, I can do this on my own. I'm mama and daddy. You heard that before? I'm mama and daddy.
Luckily, I've only
tell me Happy Father's Day. That used to piss me off on Father's Day when I go on social media and Happy Father's Day to me. I'm mama and daddy.
Yeah, I think they slowed down.
I think so.
Either they slowed down or I've unfollowed. I've unfollowed those kinds of people.
I think I still see it every now and then, but not as much as I used to. So, what do you say to those women when you say we're not the men? What do you say to those women that hasn't seen anything else and can't trust that process?
Yeah,
letting the man lead.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's not funny actually, but it's funny because a lot of women actually do that. And I know, or I've heard those kinds of women, they want a relationship. Like they want a man to make them feel secure in the relationship, but you're not giving him any leeway to make you secure with that mindset. Like no man wants to be with a woman who's being a man. No real man that likes women, right? You'll find these other kinds of people that are okay with that. But we're talking about a real man in family and legacy in a healthy relationship. You are wrong. If you are the type of woman that feels like you don't need a man, then you're very arrogant and you're dangerous. Not just to yourself, but to whatever comes from you. You're dangerous, and you're teaching that negatively to your kids. And you're going to allow them to walk through life with the same mindset because you're poisoning them with your words. And that's never okay. Luckily, I didn't come from a family where my mom and my dad weren't together. Like, I grew up with them both being in the house, so I see the value of both. Right?
Lucky.
I see the value of both.
That's rare too.
It's very rare, and it's so rare that, and I think you may get what I'm trying to say here, and I don't want to offend anyone, but there's a difference when somebody has access to both their parents versus when somebody does not have access to both of their parents. It's completely different, and they don't know that it's different because all they know is my mama raised me and my dad was this, or my dad raised me and my mom was this. But when you have two people, when you have access to both parents, you think with both sides of your brain. You think from a perspective of masculinity and femininity. You can understand both sides. And when you don't have access to both, all you see is kind of what you've been taught.
Right.
And that's very poisonous and it's very dangerous. And I don't want to get into like men, because this is like what women need to stop doing. But women definitely need to stop teaching. If they are in a position where they're single, do not teach your son how you treat them is how they should expect their woman to treat them. There's no way that I expect my son to get into a relationship and to feel like his woman should be doing the same thing that I do. Like, he's my son. I cater to my son differently than I would cater to my husband. Right? So you have to teach your kids a little bit differently, but most importantly, women, like, we just need to show up a little bit more softer in our approach. We need to show up as a woman. We need to show up and be a helpmate. We are not supposed to be the dominant of the relationship. We're supposed to be able to see the peripherals. He is saying here, we should be saying here.
Because there's women in situations to where you have women in situations to where they have to leave because they men don't know how to, or they refuse to, or they got vices that stop them from doing such things.
You know, you're preaching to the choir, right? Right. Right. So, you know, with that being said, obviously, you know, I was married, right? And very much in my relationship, I had to do a lot of the grunt work in the relationship. I had to provide a lot of the times. I've never felt like I had somebody provide for me in a relationship. So I get that.
Yeah, because on the piggyback what you're saying, on that note, you watch your father provide and be the man, you know what I'm saying, of the household, and the way your mother, you know what I'm saying, she could be feminine, and she, you know what I'm saying, she had a moment to where, you know what I'm saying, it became some matches and stuff, but that's marriage, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you seen firsthand what a healthy marriage should look like. Yeah. When it comes to the man leading and providing and protecting.
Yeah. Shout out to my parents. They'll be 40 years this year. Shout
out
to them. Yeah.
Shout out Uncle Danny. Love y'all.
So yeah. So
and to piggyback off that, they was the reason why I got married, because I see we have a big family and nobody's together but them two. So that gave me hope on marriage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so they was the reason why I got married. Yeah. Or that I had hope in marriage. Now, not so much. I don't trust it now. Period.
You don't trust me?
No.
You need to heal. Go heal.
Give me some peroxide and some band-aids. I start there.
No. So I forgot what we were saying. You got on a tangent about my parents, but I love my parents. And the beauty of seeing my parents together they've been together for longer than 40 years. They knew each other when they were like 15. And my dad will be 60 this year. Actually 60 on Saturday, February the 18th.
Right.
So with seeing them kind of their trials and their error, I get to see like what unconditional love looks like.
You know, on the side note, can I tell it?
What
Why your daddy do how your daddy do your mama was the one?
how?
Because Uncle Tony used to always smash Uncle Ken's girlfriends when
Oh
they was
yeah, I
in
heard the
school and stuff
story.
like that. And Jackie was the only one that didn't go. So that,
And men, right? And once we do that, I think we've gotten too caught up into what we see on TV that we made it our reality, and then we wonder why everything is so broken. But I will say, I just saw a statistic this week that says better.
okay, but and you have a lot of men that go the other way these days. So I say like the
Yes, you
ratio,
do.
yeah, the ratio between from men and women, I still say it probably damn near like
But
equal.
yeah, think about it. It's the same thing for women. Women incarcerated.
Mm,
There's women that go the other way, right?
all right.
So still,
Yeah.
yeah. You got 5 apples and then 3 oranges, and 3 oranges match with 3 apples. Then they're 2 apples. I'm like, what is I naming? two apples without matches, okay? Next.
Next topic, please.
All right. Respect in relationship goes both ways.
Oh yes, definitely. Most definitely.
I had to put my head down for a moment of silence.
Yeah, because I came from a marriage to where respect didn't go both ways.
Me
That's
too.
how. You been there too, huh?
I could write a book. Oh, I did.
You did.
I did. Yeah.
Got your book on Amazon now? You can go get that on
It's on
Amazon?
Amazon. It's at Walmart too.
Oh, yeah.
Barnes and Noble. Yeah, check it out. Respect goes. So, what is respect for you? Like, for a man, like, because I'm interested.
Let me give some scenarios and examples
Okay.
of the lack of respect. See, my ex-wife, she came from a broken home herself, to where she seen her mama do everything. So when it came to me, I think she expected the same thing that her father dished out, which was bare minimum, if not anything. But if you could just open your eyes and see that it's not the same. But the devil trying to choke me. The devil don't want me to get this out.
What are you eating?
Jolly Rancher Chewies. She gave me these Jolly Rancher Chewies, ladies and gentlemen. She
What
did.
is happening?
They're so juicy.
See?
The juice went down the wrong hole.
That's what happened when you talk about women. You take yourself out.
I'm not going to die alive. See the next thing you pump my chest. Stay with us. Stay with us.
That's crazy.
Anyway, yeah.
So she expected you to operate.
Yeah, she'll even come with, like, she'll come at me and be like, oh, what do you think about this? Should we do this? Do that? Should we do this? I'm like, no more candy on the show, y'all. I'm sorry. It stuck to my gums. I'm telling you.
What is happening?
Bro, this is evil Jolly Ranchers. Okay? She'll come to me and be like, hey, should we do this, that, or the other? And I'll be like, we should do that. But I'm going to do this. I'm like, what the point are you even asking me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate hanging up before we say bye. Don't just hang up. Just hang it up in my face. I just tell her, hey, that's disrespectful. She'll do it any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just, like, that relationship was like the epitome of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I say she couldn't have certain male friends. You know what I'm saying? And she said she could. Okay, well, you're not my wife then. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go that road.
Why couldn't you have male friends?
No, I said certain male friends that used to, you know what I'm saying, smash on it, that they've been ex-boyfriends and stuff like that. Like, no, you can't have that friend no more.
He's telling everybody business today.
No, we just being real.
Right
It's the Ninja Please podcast. Not the Ninja Please don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ninja Please tell it. You know, huh?
Yikes.
Yeah, like everything, like even how we raised our kids.
Different?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it was disrespectful for me if I say my kids can't do this or my kids can't do that. and you turn around and let them do this or do that. For instance.
I think that's normal. You're naming normal stuff.
No, that is disrespectful.
But it's different. So was it consistent over?
Yes, the whole 7 years was consistent with the disrespect.
So it wasn't new stuff. It was just like
well,
I tell her my boundaries, and then she keeps crossing over.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like you knew, like you push buttons on purpose just to get reactions out of me, and then get mad when the reaction comes out, and then you want to call the police. You know what I'm saying? What you doing that for? You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect me. Don't say certain stuff. Like she'll tell. Like one time, I used the wipes to clean my hands. Don't use those wipes. I said, I'm a grown man. If I want to use a baby wipe, I'm gonna use a baby wipe. A grown man brings home the bacon. I own my own company at this point. I own my own moving company at this point. Working 7 days a week. You tell me that? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You feel me? Like she had a mouth on her. Yeah.
You have a good relationship these days?
Oh, me, huh? No, because it's always, I got a good relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't let stuff get to me no more. Since I'm not in love with her no more, don't have feelings for her no more. This is you know what I'm saying, stuff I couldn't handle when I was still in love with her. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And I thought the world of her. And you treated me like a piece of crap. These days, I don't give a damn what you do. You know what I'm saying? And you can come with the disrespect, which she still does. You do the bare minimum for your kids. What? I get them all the time. Whatever you got, you know what I'm saying, need for them, I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just some people that's out there just to hurt your feelings and, you know what I'm saying, just disrespect you on purpose just to, you know what I'm saying, because they're miserable. And, you know what I'm saying, you know how it loves company.
It does.
Yeah.
It seems like it does. Anyways. Well, you okay?
Yes, I am.
I was gonna say, like, you know, respect in a relationship for people vary. You know, it's broad. So one thing I hate is when like someone is offended or they just don't like what somebody said, and then they throw out the word disrespect. You're gonna kill yourself on the podcast.
Oh, you saw that?
They threw out the word disrespect when it's not disrespectful. I just don't like what you said. You know what I'm saying? So, black parents.
What if they felt,
black parents.
No, what if they felt what was said was disrespectful?
No, like black parents. Like you bring out something or your parents was wrong. You say, "Nah, mom or dad, it's X, Y, and Z." A lot of black parents don't know how to take their kids correcting them or telling them something different. And you ain't gonna disrespect me. You know, I hear that. You know,
that's different.
You know, but it's the same thing in relationships because men, you guys value respect. When I speak to men, I'm not an expert on men. You're a guy. But when I speak to men, one of the things that are high up there is respect, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Right? And oftentimes being a woman, we don't know what that means.
You don't know what means.
Respect. So what you see as respect or disrespect from our purview might be a little bit different because we don't operate from the lens of a man. So when I asked you, like, all right, well, what is respect for you? And you started to name, like, all right, well, I saw this as disrespectful because she called me out while I was using wipes. And I'm like, a man. I'm a man. Like, wait, why are you asking me anything? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm a wife and maybe the wipes go for a baby or something, I might say something too, like, why are you using the wipes? Go wash your nasty hands. Like, what? These wipes supposed to go for the baby, but now I gotta buy wipes because you keep.
It's 150. It's 150 pack wipes. Now I'm using one wipe.
Now it's 149.
What?
Now it's 148.
No, not 7 years. 7 years ago, it was $3 for $2.
No, I'm saying you saying it's 150 wipes. I'm saying now it's 149.
So what's the problem?
But how often?
So that validates her for saying that. Yeah, man.
You know I'm not seeing anybody.
Yeah, if you a man, you'll bring home the bacon.
Ooh.
Yeah, that validates that.
I wouldn't say that. Like that.
That's not disrespectful.
That is very disrespectful.
Yeah, there was a lot of those moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, why did she say it?
She just be saying, she just used to just say stuff just to be saying it, just to hurt me. Yeah. So it was a lot of disrespect in that marriage, to where, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, to go back on the last subject, she thought she was the man, and she, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to be the man. She thought she was the man. That's why we used to always butt heads so bad, because my mama used to think I was a sucker when it came to her. Like, no, we literally fight all the time, because it's like two male lions in the damn jungle trying to take over territory. We always biting on each other. That's what it was like.
But so we get that we don't make excuses. I don't make excuses for anybody and how they grew up and their behavior. But I do acknowledge that, like I said a second ago, when people don't grow up with both exposures, they reasoning out the window, because they're not using both levels of reasoning from a man or a woman. They're just using whatever they were exposed to. So if your mom is operating from a place of bitterness and that's all you know, guess what? You're going to operate from that same place, because you don't have nobody to balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my mom is very tough. You know, she's softening up now, but my mom was very, very tough when I was growing up. And my dad is more like kumbaya. Like, when you talk to my dad, he's very kumbaya. My mom is very boisterous. And because I have access to both, I can't imagine what I would be like if I just had access to my mom being so boisterous.
Right.
And I can't imagine what I would be like if I was just kumbaya about every single thing.
Right.
You know, but I have both. So I have a healthy balance. And if you don't have a healthy balance, you bring whatever your exposure is into the relationship. But it's your job to get the healing. It's your job to be like, you know what? Something off. Why do they keep saying I got an attitude? Why do they keep saying I'm yelling when I feel like I'm just talking?
Right.
Why do they feel like I'm not listening? Why do they feel, you should start asking yourself these questions. And if you never get to a place where you're asking yourself these questions, you're a narcissist. Right. You're a narcissist, because if you're not asking these questions, you don't have introspective. That means that you're telling yourself that you're not learning, you're not growing, that you're not going to change. I'm not changing for nobody. This is who I am. This is who I am. People, I wish they go to an island and they just hang out with other. This is who I am, and see how far they get. Because I can't be associated with it. This is who I am. You ain't gonna change me.
Change it, yeah.
Like, that kind of person is toxic, is dangerous, and they will pull the worst out of you, because that exposure is gonna be on you like a leech. Because you're gonna be trying to, you can change, you can grow. They don't want to change. They don't want to grow.
Right.
And if you are an empath, you're going to believe that you can help somebody grow. You're going to turn into a rehab center. You're going to try to nurse them back to health. And then you're just going to be laying there with wounds, licking them. So, yeah, but I don't make excuses for that freaking scenario that you just said. Like, I don't believe in, like, verbally abusing, but everybody has their moment.
It's worse than physical abuse.
I agree. But everybody has their moment, though. Like, we've all said some things to somebody we love and we care about.
On a regular basis. I was verbally abused.
So you never verbally abused her?
Yeah, but it was an attack back.
So it was just like
you know what I mean? I'm like your pop. I'm like your pop. I'm like real laid back. You know what I'm saying? I don't start nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend. Like, sometimes I had to pretend like it was my fault. I stopped doing that. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep on pretending like, you know what I'm saying, this was my fault. No, you started stuff on purpose, and you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, you see a bomb, right? You know what I'm saying? You see the cord to the bomb, you know what I'm saying? You know you like this bomb, right? What happened to the bomb? Bomb gonna explode. You know it's a bomb. Yeah. So why would you ignite a bomb knowing what's gonna happen?
So you're the bomb.
You're the bomb.com.
I don't know, but I feel like, okay, so we all can be bombs. Not to be confused with B-U-M-S.
B-O-M-B.
B-O-M-B, right? So we can all explode. We all have that capacity to be able to do that. But I appreciate what you say. Like, you get into the space where you're not operating based on reaction.
Right.
And getting so sound in that space. And once you do that, it releases you from toxic people.
Right.
And that's kind of, I'm in that same space. Like, last year was a hell of a year for me, where I felt like I was just reacting to everything that was coming my way.
You was highly disrespected last year.
I was highly disrespected last year, and
then when we say relationships, it ain't even got to just be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife. It could be brother and brother, sister, cousins, mama, daughter. You know what I'm saying? It could be all types of relationships. So, you know what I'm saying? But respect goes both ways. Like, it's a lot of dudes I don't mess with no more because, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it. It don't go, yeah. We ain't got time for one-sided relationships no more. Like, I don't do that no more.
Yeah. Same thing. There's so many people I had to, so many people that walked out of my life last year because I wasn't tolerating the disrespect. Like, I was questioning it.
Right.
And then there were some people that I was just like, this is not even worth a conversation for me. It's so disrespectful that I'm going to leave you where you are and be justified in whatever you feel. And it's just not worth the energy because I kept running down a rabbit hole last year, like, of disrespect. And I was just like, what? Am I the problem? Am I the problem?
Right.
And that's
do I deserve the disrespect?
Yeah, it's introspective.
I gotta deserve it. It's disrespect coming from my way. Coming in between the legs.
Am I the problem? And it's so simple to be like, okay, well, I'm the problem. I can fix me. If I'm the problem, I can fix me.
Right.
But when you're not the problem, you have to figure out a way to be able to manage people that don't show up and operate the same way that you do, that are okay disrespecting you while you're trying to respect them.
Yeah.
And
right.
So I'm going to say, like, respect and relationship going both ways. I'm going to add this in. I know we didn't talk about it, but I'm going to add in, like, when somebody disrespects you, you have to learn to respect yourself.
Right.
And what I mean by that is sometimes you're in this relationship, maybe somebody cheats on you. I don't believe in cheating. That's just me personally.
What do you mean you don't believe in cheating unless you're married?
I don't believe if somebody cheat on you that you need to stay in this relationship. That's just me, point blank, period.
Oh, okay.
So you can choose to disrespect yourself and stay and position yourself.
You disrespect yourself at that point.
You disrespect yourself.
Do you feel like that about women that's getting beat up by their boyfriends? Cause I just had a conversation with a couple of ladies like the other day. Now, like, I don't feel bad for women that stays in an abusive relationship because it ain't like.
You don't feel bad?
No, I do not. No. Look, there's too many avenues to get jokers, to get ninjas locked up and get restraining orders and move away around from jokers to stay in an abusive relationship. Now, back in the 70s and stuff like that, to where when, like, my mama, for instance, my brother's baby daddy locked her in the house. That back then we can lock people in the house. Guess what I did? She climbed from that top story and jumped her ass out that window and got some help. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no such thing as staying in an abusive relationship. Like, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? There's people you can call. You know what I'm saying? It's a number that you call. Like, I think it's 3 numbers, like 911 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's police stations.
911?
Yeah, that one. I don't even know the number.
So would you consider, like, emotional abuse and verbal abuse?
No, I'm talking about physical abuse. I'm talking about staying around a physical abuse. Say you to get a boyfriend tomorrow. Let's just say 3 months down the line, he stopped the crap out of you.
Oh.
What are you doing after that?
I'm telling my dad first.
You gonna tell him first?
I'm gonna tell my dad. I'm exiting, but I'm telling my dad. No, I'm gonna tell you too.
You better tell me first, because I'm gonna be the first one to jump up in that thing. Probably need to go to jail. He don't need to go to jail.
My dad told me he lived his life. My dad is okay with the jail time, so I'm just letting y'all know.
Now, so let's just say somebody different.
Yeah.
They stick around. He does it again. A couple weeks later, he does it again. He keeps doing it, but you keep sticking around. You keep making excuses for him. You know what I'm saying? You really feel bad for this person?
Yeah, I still feel bad for them. Okay. I was like, I can't even say what I want to say without incriminating myself. So I'll just say you and I both know somebody that is being abused right now. And they are still in that relationship and they refuse to leave. That doesn't mean that I don't feel bad for her. Do I question it? Of course.
You said we both know somebody who's been physically abused?
We're not gonna talk about it right now. But we know of a person that is being physically in an abusive relationship, and they haven't left for whatever reason. We got comment come through. They haven't left for whatever reason.
Who's the person?
I don't know. Is that why they slapping example?
Is it what?
Why they slapping example? But I'll just say, like, some people stay in these relationships because they have a trauma bond. You know what a trauma bond is?
A what? A trauma bond?
Yeah, yeah. So they're addicted to the trauma. Like, it goes so much that it's just like, let's talk about Tina Turner. It's like people telling her to leave. Remember the backup singles was like, girl, you ain't got a relationship. Everybody was like, get out of this relationship, but she could not leave. Oh, but he loves me. He apologized. He said he was going to work on himself. He said he's going to do better. Oh, he checked in therapy. Oh, we had a long conversation at the park. Like I've been trauma bonded. I've never been like abused that measure like that ever. But some people who had that experience are in that trauma bond where they see past all of the abuse and they see the person as just like, oh well, but he loves me. If he didn't love me, he wouldn't have bought me roses afterwards. Or if he didn't love me, he wouldn't apologize afterwards. Or if he didn't love me, he would get a divorce. Like, they create all of these narratives and they see that as love because they're been in that relationship for a long time. They're used to the consistency or just the daily routine of being next to that person, sleeping with that person, whatever the case may be. So sometimes it's hard for them to leave and they don't even know why. It's hard. It's hard. So my heart goes out to them. Do I think they should leave and get help and talk to somebody that's going to help them make the necessary steps for them to have a healthy relationship with themselves so they can stop disrespecting themselves? Absolutely.
How about this? Light bulb.
Okay.
For start an agency, ladies, you call me. You get your ass whooped by your man.
And then what?
We'll come straighten them out for a fee though. You're doing it for free.
You know how most cops die from domestic abuse situations?
No, I doubt it.
No, seriously.
I thought it was from traffic stops.
I won't say it's the number one way, but I was like, it's definitely pretty high up there.
I don't know. I gotta look into that. I gotta put your file on that one. I don't believe that. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like what?
They're showing up to like a domestic violence situation.
No, we ain't showing up to try to calm down the situation. We just fucking whip his ass. Take her. They got shelters for this.
Tavia.
They got shelters for this.
I don't want to know.
Stay because of Ike's big package. That's another reason too, Tavia. You know what I'm saying? Tavia.
I don't want to know. What?
Yeah, that's another reason.
I guess
okay, I'm not even going. My daddy wasn't physically abusing mama, but he was cheating like a mother. You know what I'm saying? But that was the reason why she stayed with him because of the meat.
Yeah.
I don't want to. She was beautiful. That's what she told me. That's what she said. They stick around for the package. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what my auntie.
You know it.
And my uncle.
But now you know. I'm sorry to put that in your head, but that's what goes on. She's right. That's another reason. But hey, that's why I don't feel. You see why I don't feel bad? That came from a woman. Tavia said that, so she knows somebody that stuck around for their ass just because of the package. Now, you know what I'm saying? Some of them stay around for the money. Some of them stay around because they're in a comfortable situation before they got to work. That'd be a lot of it too. Man, to come home and beat their women and cheat on them and stuff like that because they take care of you. You know what I'm saying? They feel like you ain't got nowhere to go. But yeah, call me.
But a lot of people, I mean, that's what they experience, especially like our grandparents and stuff like that. Like, this is just, I don't know why they were doing it, but I think perhaps it was just from, our society, our lineage being beat on and stuff like that.
What?
Like, men were beating their wives back in the day.
Back on what day?
Our grandparents' day. What do you mean?
Oh, they're talking about the slave day.
I don't know what they were doing back then, but
they had time to beat their slave wife.
They might. Stop laughing. I don't want to laugh.
I'm trying to be funny.
I do not want to laugh.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. The best violence ain't funny, but I just don't, especially in this day and age, bro. In this day and age, bro, there's just too many avenues.
In Black History Month, that's what we're doing.
To move the what?
Black History Month.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna start an agency. We're gonna come F him up, and we're gonna get you. We're gonna put you. There's shelters for stuff like this. There's police stations for stuff like this. How do we get on this subject?
I don't know. Let's
don't get me started.
Let's
That's a whole
reel
other
it
subject.
back
We'll bring that in next show. Domestic violence and how to deal with it.
I'll just say, let's just end this respect and relationship goes both ways. So I'm gonna end it on like create some boundaries in your relationship. Hold steadfast to your boundaries because nobody else is going to keep boundaries that you won't keep. Okay. And if somebody disrespects your boundaries, you have to be willing to walk away. Doesn't matter if it's like a dating relationship, it's your girlfriend, boyfriend. Doesn't matter if it's a friendship. Doesn't matter if it's a business partnership. Like you have to be so true to you that you find the people that should really truly be in your life, because the people that are really supposed to be in your life will not cross your boundaries. And if they do and you say, hey, this is my boundary.
Okay, but that's established, like you said, create boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
This should be established like on first dates, when you're first dating and stuff like that.
You can't talk about everything on the first date.
I said first dates. When you first get to know somebody, you get to know their likes and their dislikes, what they feel is disrespect and what they feel is respect. You know what I'm saying? What they feel is all this stuff should go into just regular conversation when you're first dating somebody.
You're not gonna find out everything.
What do you mean? I'm just saying as it progresses. Okay. As it progresses.
You've been married. Weren't you still finding out like different things about your wife? Wasn't she still finding out like, all right, you ain't never did this before, but hey, don't do that no more?
I just said as you're progressing.
It's gonna take years.
No, it don't. What? For respect?
It does. It takes years because you're still growing.
Well, I mean, you should learn respect when you're a kid. It is that way.
Respect. You're just talking about like high level respect. So high level respect, yeah, absolutely.
You know, respect. Period. People know what's disrespectful when they come out their mouth or when they do certain stuff. You already know it's disrespectful before you say it or do it.
Not always.
Always. What you mean?
Cheating, disrespectful.
Okay, what's disrespectful? Okay, let's clear this up.
Calling me out my name.
You didn't say what. Okay, that's disrespectful for you.
Calling me on my name, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so you said, yeah, that's the Johnny Rancher, bro. Keep coming back to hunt me. You know, that first choke, it goes a long way. Now, okay, so you already know. Okay, calling you out your name. What else?
I said cheating.
Cheating. What else?
Very, very disrespectful.
So you need to create that boundary when you're dealing with somebody. No. How you create? How you? You know what I'm saying? How you? Yeah, I feel disrespectful because of bitch. We know that. That's why it's done.
Yelling at me is disrespectful. But everybody don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
And then when you kick them out, they feel disrespected.
How, Sway? How did I disrespect you? You yelling at me? How? Preach. Facts. Yeah, but everybody doesn't see that. Some people might come from a yelling household and that's how they talk.
And they feel like that's regular.
But I say, no, you're yelling at me. If you do that, I find that to be disrespectful. So you can't do that with me. So, I mean.
Y'all know what's respect and what's disrespect, man. Come on, man. Let's just be real. We all grown here. Y'all know what's disrespectful and what's not before you do it or before you say it. So just stop doing it or not be with nobody. Or suffer the consequences.
Go to an island.
Because there's men that put their hands on women for what they say, bro. Like, it's serious, bro. Like, verbal disrespect from a woman is serious when it comes to men. Because we'll put our hands on you because we don't care if anybody else disrespects us. Let's say a stranger disrespects me, a lady. I'm just gonna go about my business. But if I gotta come home to the woman I'm taking care of and she verbally disrespects me, I'm gonna want to slap the crap out of her. I said I want to. I didn't say I would. Have mercy. Watch what you fellas too. You know what I'm saying? You might get some hot grits on your back and you try to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? You disrespect your woman because you bitch, you stupid. H-word, you this, that, this, and that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? She don't feel like she need to be disrespected like that, so it might get a little physical. You might get some hot grits on your back.
Look, and I'm not speaking to married folks because I think differently on a lot of these topics when it comes to marriage. I feel like it's holy matrimony. I feel like it's biblical. I feel like it's divine. I feel like you should be marrying the person that you're equally yoked with. And if all of this is happening, do not marry that person. Doesn't sound like.
What if it happens after the marriage?
Why are you?
Because people hide stuff before they get married.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. But there are red flags. I can't even. People. My ex hid a lot of things from me while we were dating, but some of the things he didn't hide from me, not very well. I just made excuses for it. I made a lot of excuses for it. I was like, I don't know, he grew up this way, or no, he's gonna be better, or no, he's into the church. That's not really what he is. All of those things. So stop making excuses for people and start believing what they show you. So a lot of that is on us. It's not on them because nobody really hides it that well.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say on that. Do you want to add anything?
That was good. Stop disrespecting people and get the heck up out of there.
All right, last topic though. So be ready for what you're asking for. What does that mean for you?
That's a good one. Be ready for what you're asking for. When I hear something like that, it's like, let's just say, I say, I want a business. I want to start my own business, right? Have you ever seen a picture of a ballerina's feet and how messed up her feet is and stuff like that? But she wants something. She wants to be the best ballerina and stuff. But there's a process to this. You know what I'm saying? That goes to say, like, I say I want to start my business, but you know what I'm saying? Be ready for what you're asking for, because I done quit my 9 to 5, and guess what? I'm working 24/7 now. You know what I'm saying? Probably not even making as much money as I was for the 9 to 5. But so you gotta be careful what you know what I'm saying. You gotta be ready for what you're asking for. You know what I'm saying? If you want something, you gotta be ready to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think about when I hear some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about relationship wise, or you just talking about like life period?
I feel like that's a good question, and I feel like you're right on there. You hit the nail on the head when you talk about like business and stuff like that.
It's right up your alley, girl.
Yeah, it's absolutely right up my alley. Because look, I get it. I get
right.
Like, not having a life for my business, and not having people who really understand what I'm trying to do, understand time, like people's concept of time is
that's
completely
the crazy
different.
part. Like, I can't even, like, since I started doing my own business and stuff like that, like I can't even make plans with people, because like business always comes up. Like literally, like I put, yeah, Saturday we're gonna link up. Okay, yeah, it's been years. I know, right? We gotta link up. You know what I'm saying? This Saturday, bro. You know what I'm saying? I forgot. Damn, you know what I'm saying? I had to go out of town. This and that. Like you said, like that time ain't no joke when you get to doing your own business stuff. It's like it's not enough hours in the day.
It's not.
It should be like 36 hours. It goes by so freaking quick to where you look up and you haven't communicated with loved ones or somebody that you usually do in like 3 or 4 weeks or 2 months or something like that. It's crazy. Or even years.
Yeah, that's why I get so pissed. You know what? I get pissed off when people don't operate, like have a business and they have like,
and they don't understand that.
They don't understand it, or they act like they busier than me, and I'm the busiest person I know. I'm the busiest person.
What you mean when you say they act like they busy?
Like if I'll get a text back when I know somebody, you know, they got like a standard 9 to 5 and they don't have kids or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And it might be something I might be texting, because I don't be texting nothing crazy. I might text something important. And they're like, oh, like, bro, you don't understand.
What you mean, like brushing off your text?
Yeah, the sacrifice that I make.
I know that happens with me. Like, no. Yeah, not business.
Not business.
Yeah, not business text. Like,
not
the regular goofy. Like my brother had that bad, just sending me a whole bunch of gifs all damn day. You know what I'm saying? My girl had a bad by just sending me a whole bunch of reels all day from Facebook and Instagram. And I literally don't go through that crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got time for it. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me.
Yeah.
I be getting that all day. Like, if you send me an Instagram reel, I'm probably not gonna look. I barely look at my inbox. I have assistants now to go through my inbox. So if you're trying to shoot your shot, shoot in the comments. I see those, but I'm not looking for no DM. If it's money in there, my assistant will tell me it's money in there. Those are the only ones that I'm responding to. But in terms of like just being ready, what you ask for, like it's gonna take a lot of sacrifice to get like what you want. What?
You have an assistant?
I have 2 of them actually that operate my pages. So yeah, if y'all send us some crazy stuff to the DMs, 9 times out of 10 they've seen it first, or I'm not gonna see it. If it's not money, then I probably won't even look at it. Yeah, I'm too busy, and that's the thing. I operate 11 pages by myself, or I was operating 11 pages by myself, and it gets to the point where I'm being stressed thin. I make money from the things that I do, so I got to spend my time where it's more efficient. So sometimes, it just works best. I don't want to get burned out because I love having these podcasts. I love having progressive conversations. I love doing what I do. So I'm grateful. Sometimes you need help.
True.
But in terms of like just being ready with what you ask for in relationships, just make sure you're the person that you need to be. If you are looking for a wife, you need to first be like a husband. right?
Right.
If you're the wife material, if you're not wife material and you're looking for a husband, that's just off kilter. It's off balance.
But can anybody be wife and husband material?
No.
Why not?
Because there's behaviors with those titles.
Yeah, but there's room for growth to change, though, right? That's why I say anybody could.
But I think a lot of times people get into these marriages and they think they can just flip a switch and turn on the husband switch or the wife switch. Like it's just like that. But you need to be operating as such while you're single. If you're preparing for marriage, if you're not preparing for marriage, I get it. Like, because sometimes it's a season where you're not preparing for marriage. You're not wanting a relationship. I get it. But if you're ready, you should be operating as such. So when you get married, you don't have to flip a switch because you're already showing up as a husband or a wife.
Right.
Right. So when I see you, I'm like, oh, he's husband material.
Okay.
Yeah, he's operating as such. I don't have to guess on whether or not it's going to show up.
But there's no such thing as because there's always flaws in certain things to where, okay, yeah, he's husband material on this end, but he might not be husband material on this end. Yeah, we all have room for growth. Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
There's room for growth, but the basis of marriage material should be there. I think what you're talking about is just like maybe mentality or something, but if you know you don't even have the foundation secured, you shouldn't be considering marriage, especially if you're a man, because the weight of your responsibility is a lot greater than a woman, right? So adding another mouth to feed ain't gonna do nothing but multiply the labor, the burden that you're already gonna have in trying to build something great. So it should be you should be operating as such. So adding somebody is not going to take away from what you're already doing. And she should be a helpmate to multiply what you have. But if you have nothing, there's nothing to multiply. Right. So yeah. But yeah, like women, you need to be operating as a wife if you want to be a wife. If you want to do it the right way. You should be. If you don't know how to cook, go take some cooking classes, sis. Go find somebody that know how to cook, a cousin, a friend. Like it's very simple. And I'm not saying like women just have to show up and know how to cook, but it's nice to be able to cook. That's what
you said.
No, I'm just saying it's nice to be able to do that.
That's you. I was cooking.
Because my mom taught me how to cook. A woman taught me how to cook, and my dad cooks.
You burn up everything that you make. Every time I come to your house, there's always a burnt skillet.
This guy.
Burnt stuff in the toaster. Everything is Cajun. It's Cajun. It's Cajun. Everything's Cajun. How's cereal Cajun? Cereal be burnt. How you burn cereal?
Stop playing. You know you love
Cajun noodles.
Stop playing with me. And if I'm not cooking, I'm going to a Michelin star restaurant, sis. So get your bag up.
I kid. She can cook.
So, and go to these restaurants where you have to get a reservation. You can't just walk in the door.
Nobody, you doing it now?
Yeah. So and that's the thing. Like what I asked for, I am. I'm not gonna ask.
And I thought I was doing something when I walked in the Cheddar's and said, "Give me that booth right there. Give me that. I want that booth. Now don't give me that table. Give me that booth right there." Right. I thought I was doing something. Go to Denny's. Yeah, let me get that booth right there. I don't want one by the restrooms. Nah, we don't want that. Don't walk over there. Like we going over here. We going over to this booth right here. Send us our waiter. I thought I was doing something. She gotta get reservations.
I love a good reservation. I love a
good Michelin had that before. That's gonna be okay. How much? What's Michelin star? What is that? When you said Michelin, I thought of tires.
No, it's Michelin star. If you Google it, it'll tell you the creme de la creme restaurants in your city. Every city has like.
And what's the average? What's the average two person dinner price for these Michelin stars? No, yeah, you do. What is the average? What is the average price?
First of all, I never paid for. Okay, I never asked for what somebody costs if they take me to the restaurant. That's first and foremost. I don't care.
You don't even look at the bill?
I don't look at the bill. I'm not paying for it. But when I do pay for it, because I take my kids, I take my parents and my brother out to dinner, and it's all on me.
For her last birthday, she invited us to a nice ass restaurant. It was probably at least 20 of us, right?
Albernays in Dallas.
Bro, okay. So we there for her birthday. This is her birthday, mind you, y'all. This is how she gets down. This is her birthday. I know I ought to be at least, I ought to be probably like a $40 to $50 steak. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling everybody. I'm just saying me personally. My meal gonna be like $70-some damn dollars. She paid for everybody's meal, bro. Everybody trying to cash out. What's your cash out? I don't have no cash out. The line. What's your sale? I don't got no sale. Just line. Well, take this $100. No, you know what I'm saying? I don't see no $100. That's how she gets down, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of bracket around here. That's how she gets down.
Yeah. And that's the only kind of people I want to be around, because I loved everybody at the table. And because I loved everybody at the table, I can give like that, and it means nothing to me. Because
bro, I would have loved to see that bill, just to see it.
It was nothing.
It was nothing. She said nothing, not nothing.
But yeah, and if a man can't do that, then
well, if a man can't do that financially,
if he can't do that, then he's not for me. But somebody else who's not where I am.
He can't do what?
What I just did, like stuff that I do.
Between people.
Yeah, they can't do that. Damn. We're not the same.
Yeah, we need to step it up.
And he will be looking at me like, why'd you spend all that money? And that money could have went to the house or some bills. Like, I don't need no man to try to minimize where I'm at in life because he hasn't made it there yet. Like, if anything, it should, like, if he's with me, I'm gonna tell you this. If he's with me and he can see what I do and I don't have to hear this about like, you could have got gas. Like, I could have, the woulda, coulda, shouldas with my money that I work really hard for to be able to do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, if he can be with me and be like, dang, I'm impressed. Maybe I need to pick up an extra job or be an entrepreneur or whatever. If it's that kind of thing, but if he's going to talk to me with scarcity mindset, I don't want to be with anybody like that because I don't live in that place. I live in a place of abundance. So that's just where I am. No shade.
We want no shade at all.
No shade. Like, no shade. There's somebody for everybody, and there's different levels, and it doesn't mean I'm better than and they're less than, or they're less than, or whatever, or they're better than and I'm less than. It just means that there's somebody on their level that's perfect for them, the same way there's somebody on my level that's perfect for me.
There you have it.
But yeah,
so
that's it.
Level, can you get your brother some steak and shake after this? It's just $8. You get some Whataburger.
What?
I'm simple.
You a mess.
Am I?
So, guys, there we have it. That's all the topics that we had today. Did you have any?
We are back though. We're back.
See,
because that's what we were talking about with the business and stuff like that. That's why we ain't been able to do the podcast like we want to. We was always talking about, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Something comes up, something comes up, something comes up. This time comes this time not good for me. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what businesses do you have, by the way?
Man, I got the roadside assistant business. I got the BAK. Matter of fact, me and my brother, I'm so excited because we're going to a trade show out there in Las Vegas next weekend. Nice. And so I can get some Jews on how to expand my businesses and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? The website coming soon, and and we are back though. You know what I'm saying? Ninja Please podcast is back. We're gonna get y'all the episode every week. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get it done. Well, when she's not like in Cabo or Europe or Italy or something, then we'll probably do something online. What you think?
Yeah.
If we out of town or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be out of town. My out of town is different from her out of town. I might go to like do some business in Oklahoma or Kansas or some California. Her business is she'll go to Cancun or Mars or something like that. We're gonna do the first podcast from Mars. Because she's there. She's going to be on Mars or Jupiter or something. One of the planets you ain't never even been to. She's going to go to Uranus. I didn't know that planet even came to mind. Damn it, man. But
yeah.
The Jolly Rancher.
I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Ninja Please. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully we added some sort of value
to your
made
life.
You laugh.
Made you cry.
Made you almost call 911 because he's about to choke 12,000 times. I have no idea what's going on with him. Furball, hairball.
The Jolly Rancher she gave me, y'all. She tried to kill me. She gave me the Jolly Rancher. Right. The Jolly Rancher chews almost.
Get your mouth off of women. That's what happened. You start talking about women. I have to go out.
I can't.
He's stupid. But no, guys, take some time to elevate, take some time to separate, and take some time to keep on learning, grasping wisdom. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.